building quality links can take a hell of a lot of time, money, effort, well, probably all three. Even for the initial stages, you may want to go down the route of getting some quick wins. Obviously these opportunities still take a bit of effort, but usually won't require you to have to fork out a lot of money for content or spending huge amounts of time on outreach. So let's dive in. So first, you could analyse your competitor links. So a good way of building some big lists is to run a successful competitor's domain through Ahrefs Site Explorer and pick out good opportunities. Now, you may find some rubbish, or PBN links, which, could bode well for us in the long run if that is the case, but you may find some hidden gems in there, and chances are if they got a link from there, you probably could as well, especially if it was a guest post. You should prioritise the more medium metric level sites and the most industry relevant ones, and then you can get your link building off to a strong start. However, just be wary, of course, that anyone that's linking to them dozens of times is either very closely affiliated with that competitor, or it could actually be a site that's owned by the competitor. Also, do you have a list of companies that you already do business with or that you sell products for? If so, these kind of supplier links may be, these suppliers may have a useful links or partners type of page. If you've got a good relationship with them, it's definitely worth asking them for a link. Similarly, you could also ask clients. However, generally this tends to work less. Since they're buying from you, they probably don't feel as obliged to give you a link since they're giving you the money. So same applies to reaching out across your personal networks on Facebook or LinkedIn or other platforms. Could be a good opportunity to get some links. Also, expert roundups and interviews. It won't cost you anything to get content like this made, but it may be a bit time consuming. So what that involves is finding experts in your industry or niche and then asking for a few answers or an opinion on a question, or maybe even a series of questions. If you contact enough people and you've got enough positive replies, you can then build out a really comprehensive piece from this, and better yet, you could even turn the whole thing into an infographic. And if it's suitable enough, you can incorporate data or stats into it. And then once you've featured all those experts on that page, they're usually more willing to link to it because they are being featured on the page. At worst, they may even share it on social media, which will get you some nice social traffic. Broken link building can be really good as well. Good way of doing this is finding a quality blog in your industry or your niche which is no longer live. So what you do next is analyze their backlink profile with a tool like Ahrefs, find any links that have good authority and that are relevant, and then record these targets. Create a piece of content that's very similar to that broken one, or that's even better. You could even just adapt a piece of content that you already have if you have something that's quite similar to it, and then reach out to those targets pitching your content piece as a replacement for the broken link that they may still have on their page. This often works as you're simply just pointing out an error on the page and offering a quick replacement. Remember, the content needs to be relevant and close enough to your own piece. And lastly, student discounts. Now this has been done in some form extensively by people using the student scholarship method. However, that's been done to death now and has got kind of a bad rap, but creating student discounts is another option. The only issue here is it needs to be suitable for your own product or business, so this isn't for everyone. So I'll show you this screenshot. It's Newbury College. It shows both national and local businesses offering discounts, and in return they're getting a very authoritative .ac.uk link in return. Of course, there's a finite amount of opportunities for this if you're doing this at a local or even national level. So it's just a case of going through Wikipedia and looking for universities in whatever your location is, and then finding the contact emails for each one, and then continuing to follow them up. Guys, I hope today's video was useful, and again, any questions, if you want to clarify anything, if you've done any of these methods and you want to share your results, I would love to hear it as well. So thanks very much.